So listen to this. So the DTigress team represented Nigeria in the Olympics, and they got eliminated in the quarterfinals. So the DTigress team, I've made a couple of videos talking about them, and I talked about their run, the way they beat Australia, the third-ranked team, and they were able to compete and beat Canada, and they had a hand in eliminating Canada, but that French game, they really struggled, and they got eliminated in the quarterfinals by Team USA. So there's one thing that I noticed. So as I was following this team very closely, I was very concerned with how they play, because if you look at Australia, they finished number 3 with bronze, so they just had a bad game, and majority of the shots that the Team Nigeria team were hitting, they were just going in at the right time. And not all of them were going in at the rate that they wanted, at the clip that they wanted, but they were able to get the job done with ease in that Australia game, because Australia just had a bad game. But when they matched up against France, you could see the different level in style and class, especially when it comes to just playing basketball at the international level. So the team Nigeria, the DTigress team, they are a team that has beaten every single African team last year, and they're able to win the AfroBasket. And if you look at how their run was spectacular, I don't think that there was a lot of questions in what they can do, especially when it comes to just playing in international basketball, because you would expect them to replicate the same style of play and just make a few tweaks just to make sure to adapt to the games. But when you look at how they played against France, they were very slow on defense. They were second to every single possession, and they were just fighting for second chance points, and it was not a healthy way to win basketball games, because if the other team picks up on how you're playing, they're able to adjust to you, and they're able to know this team really struggles, and this team doesn't know how to set up on defense, and both defense and offense, because there has to be a break-even point. They were not able to break even on the tough defense they were trying to play, and they're not able to break even on the offense they're trying to run, because majority of the time they're not setting screens appropriately, and things just came to roost, and they lost that game in brutal fashion. And it was not even close. Then in that Canada game, they just had a bounce back game, and they just took advantage of the fact that Canada, they were not a strong side at all, and the Nigerian team, the DTigress team, were able to beat them with ease. And I extensively covered this in 2 videos that I made as they continued to make history. So in that game against Australia, Australia was the number 3 ranked team in the contest, and Nigeria were able to break their 20-year-long streak, as they had not been able to win a game in like 20 years in that level. So that was very historic, and their huge thing that really I really looked at was they're very interested in making history other than focusing on winning the game that is in front of them. And I say this because when they matched up against USA basketball, Team USA, the women's side, this is a game that I can say they just played their quit game. This game was not even close at all. If you look at the box score, you will see that from the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, it was a no contest. And Team USA already won the game. I mean, you could see Sabrina Ionescu playing. You saw what Aja Wilson did to that Nigerian team, and she was just feasting every single time. And there was no stopping Team USA's offense. And it's not because even Team USA they play that good or they're that great. It's just that the mentality of the DTigress team was just off. I don't know what they did prior to this game, because they needed to stay focused, and they needed to understand that they have to put their best foot forward. The reason I say this is majority of the times you're seeing an African team, when they go up in class, there's a certain inferiority complex that they have, and they feel like they are inferior to the team that they are playing against. So I don't know if the DTigress team thought about we are matching up against Team USA. They are full of WNBA players. Can we be able to beat them? And they felt like, I think even if we lose, it's okay. They are WNBA players. So that's the wrong mentality. And I feel like that's the mentality that they carried into this game. Because in the first quarter to the third quarter, it was a no contest. The reason as to why the team Nigeria, the DTigress team, came alive in the fourth was because the game was already decided and they decided to pad points in garbage time. And it was sad because the time the game was already decided, you're trying to reduce the margin to make it look like, oh, it's not a blowout. They're trying to cheat the people that, that game was close. You only lost by 14. You're able to do that. But that time, Team USA, they were resting their stars. They didn't even, they were resting Brittany Grinder, Aja Wilson. I mean, they rested all their main stars. So there was no urgency in them to win the game because even if Team Nigeria tried to score, it wouldn't change the overall outcome of the game. So the thing that they wanted to do was just pad the stats in garbage time, pad the points in garbage time, reduce the margins so it looked competitive. Because if you look at if you look only at the final score, you will say that this game was very close, but Team USA pulled away. But if you look at the game, the full game from start to finish, you will see that at some point, Team USA were up 30. Team USA were up huge. At some point, Team USA had a very huge scoring run, and there was no way the DTigress were able to come back from that. So even with their huge performance in the fourth, which came too late, it was just padding points just to lie to people to show them, able to compete with them in that, which is a very shady way to, finish the game because a lot of people don't even watch the games. They didn't even watch the Olympics, majority of the people who are commenting. Even I posted this, even I DM'd Izen Kalu telling her the same. And, she took exception to that. I told her, I've watched a lot of games. I'm not going to talk about, the text message like that, but I just said, I've watched a lot of games, I've watched a lot of film to know what is going on there. So even if they've made history, their main concern was just making history and just reducing the points margin because they think that they win that way. But you can't fool me here. You can't fool us here in this community, in this channel. Because we understand and know the game. And when I say the game, they padded their points in the fourth quarter, I can also, drop the receipts on that one. So the DTigress team had the wrong mentality going into the Team USA game. Even the analysts were right. They never even picked up, selected, no analyst selected Nigeria to win because Team USA were all in to win that gold medal. I don't think there was any team that had the ability to beat Team USA. The only team that was so close was France, and that game was decided by 1 point. That's the only time that Team USA's gold medal opportunity for the women's team were going to get challenged. I don't think there was any doubt that they're going to win it. So the DTigress just patted down the points, and it's sad because even if you tell them the truth, they will not take it. They will see it as somebody just hating, and a lot of people they call me about a lot of things. They said I'm a hater, all that. But if you look at the grand scheme of things, the Nigerian team, they sent 88 athletes and they came in with 0 medals, okay? 0 medals. They didn't even medal in any sport. I'm a Kenyan. We didn't have a team there because there's no basketball team in Kenya that can be able to, even players that can be able to have the ability to play the Olympics. So the medals came from athletics. We were number 2 in athletics. So we had medals. Nigeria, Senegal, some countries didn't even medal. Tanzania didn't medal, nothing. So when they decide to open their mouths and, say a few choice things and just come out and say, your team hasn't made it. The one thing I can just say is the DTigress, not the Tigers, but the DTigress team, majority of the time they were focused on making history and they forgot that they needed to compete. Don't be the first. You're like, first win. It doesn't matter. You have to go in and it's either gold, silver, or bronze. because history is written by the winners. If you either won any medal, you're a winner in my book. But if you went in and you didn't get anything, there's nothing there. The thing is, the DTigress team, they quit in that game. They knew that they mentally they already lost that battle. So you can call yourself an Olympian, but yeah, it is what it is. So I just had like this to say about that. I don't know how this video is going to be received, but hey, it is what it is. I just said, let me just make this video, talk about that issue, and I mean, it's just insane right now. But like, share, subscribe to the channel. I'm going to see you guys in the next one. Peace out.